I'm a software engineer working in Vechain. I joined the foundation last year, and since I joined, I've been working on VORJ. So I'm really excited to introduce it to you today. Prior to joining Vechain, I worked in Accenture for a year, and prior to that, I did a master's in electronic engineering. So that's my background prior to getting into blockchain. I really have enjoyed working on VORJ for the last year. So there's a great team of us in Dublin and Italy as well that have been working on it. So I hope by the end of this presentation, I'll be able to show you the value VORJ can offer. And hopefully, if you guys aren't, some of you aren't most technical, you'll be able to interact with Web3 and utilize the benefits of blockchain. So, start off with, what is VORJ? Well, VORJ is a no-code Web3 as a service platform that makes it easy for anyone to interact with smart contracts, deploy them, and create them on Vechain Core network blockchain. So VORJ bridges the gap between Web 2 and Web 3 by almost entirely abstracting away the blockchain development process, opening up Web 3 building to the masses, regardless of technical expertise. VORJ is user-friendly. It combines the familiar Web 2 user experience with the ability to create Web 3 digital assets in just a few clicks via the UI. With VORJ, we want to invite the average Web 2 user to explore the possibilities of Web 3 without feeling like they're diving into uncharted territories. VORJ's intuitive interface ensures that you don't have to have prior blockchain knowledge before starting. You can get involved straight away. It's all very self-explanatory, easy to use. And we had this because this is crucial for accelerating the adoption of Web3 technology. Not only do we offer the UI, but our enterprise-grade APIs are game changers for users and businesses looking to harness the power of Web3. They offer seamless, efficient, and secure way to integrate blockchain technology into existing tech stacks. It's opening up a world of possibilities. So VORJ allows users to utilize the benefits of secure smart contracts without having to worry about managing them and their assets. And not only is VORJ a service for deploying and interacting and managing smart contracts, it also is an indexer. So we have a significant number of APIs, which I'll talk about in the upcoming slides, that lets you utilize our indexer. So whether maybe you might want to use VORJ for deploying smart contracts, but there's loads of APIs where you can read on-chain data with just a few lines of code from Web 2 if you're integrating into a tech stack. So yeah, I'll get to that. So yeah, I'll move on. So why VORJ? Before we get into it. So since Vechain launched, its focus has been on building technologies that solve obstacles impeding mass adoption. And the idea behind VORJ was simple then. We wanted to create a platform that enables everyone to interact with Web3 and create, deploy, and operate smart contracts. We wanted to reduce or even remove technical barriers that has typically caused enterprise to shy away from blockchain technologies. So literally shouldn't be a requirement to start interacting with Web3. We wanted to remove the stress of managing seed phrases, wallets, storing digital assets. Don't worry about that. Leave that to us. When it comes to VORJ, we'll manage that for you. We wanted to create something that was inclusive. We wanted everyone to be involved. We wanted to integrate with marketplaces. And very importantly, we wanted to work with, for the builders, the innovators, and the artists. So VORJ will hopefully come to play a key role in the adoption of Vechain Core blockchain. All going well. Okay, so prerequisites before I start demoing the front end. Literally all you need is a valid email address. It couldn't be more easy. You don't need any wallet. So sorry, Beneath, they don't need to use eWorld. You don't need any Thor, no vet. It's so simple. You need a bit of imagination to come up with some sort of password. But you're all well able to do that. I'll give it to you. So how to access VORJ? Well, there's a few ways, depending on what your use case is. You can access VORJ via the UI, which is found at vorj.app. If you have a bit of technical experience, you want to integrate with our APIs, you can find the APIs at api.vorj.app. I also don't have it up here, but at vorj.io, that's our portal. Then there's loads of documentation that Neil, our product manager, spent ages working on, and they're really insightful. And they can be found at docs.vorj.app. There you'll find video tutorials, written tutorials. So if you have any issues later on you're using it, if you can't find me, I will be around. Hit those documentations up, they're brilliant. And finally, for support, we have the Discord channel, and we also have an email address, support@vorj.app. So I will show you the portal now. Let me see. Okay, that's in here. Okay, so guys, if any have a laptop on you and you want to do this with me, at least you'll have a setup for later. You can get your API keys and stuff for later on. I definitely would invite you to come along with me, and like if you have any questions as we go through it, put up your hand and I'll answer them. It's really straightforward. But to start off with, this is our homepage. So I'm going to register as if I don't have an account, even though I probably have about 100 accounts at this stage. So click register, and here you need to come up with an email. I'm actually going to, actually this one's already registered. Okay, I am going to get a temporary email. If this works. Give me something original. Okay, so enter your email. Give yourself a name. My name's Roisin, so, I used that one earlier. Okay, that's what, I shouldn't have practiced this demo earlier. Okay, let me go with my personal. Okay, perfect. Next thing, come up with a password, whatever suits you guys. You can agree to terms and services. You can don't worry about okay, sorry. QWERTY, I couldn't spell it right. There we go. In case you can all hack my account later on. Okay, so once you guys have done that, head over to your email accounts and you can get the code that has been sent to you. So open a Gmail. I'm not great at emails, so you can see a lot of unread ones there. Okay, so copy the code over, go back, paste it in. Okay, so I'm registered. So how VORJ works, it's a hierarchical approach. So an organization is the first thing you need to create. That would be, if you're a business, that would be your enterprise. If you're an individual user, yeah, of course, you're going to be it's going to be a one-man show, one-woman show. You're the organization, but it just allows you to invite people to collaborate and stuff. So I'm going to be the organization owner now because I'm creating it, but if I want to invite whoever, Fabio, to come join, I can send him an invite link and he can join my organization. I can grant him access to different things. So creating the organization, it's going to be Roisin's org, nice and original. Okay, and Antonio spoke to you about this earlier, but at the moment, VORJ is a public good. So we are offering 300,000 API calls a month for free. You can do 5,000 NFT uploads at once. You can deploy up to 20 smart contracts a month. So there's loads and loads of scope there. So that should be ample amount for the moment. Okay, add members, not going to do that. Next thing, you create a project. So when you're creating a project, this project is where you'll manage your smart contracts. So a project can either be for mainnet or testnet. It can't be for both. So I'm going to create a project here for the mainnet. We're going to be all smart contracts that are created for this project are going to get deployed on the mainnet. So again, you can add then users. So if I only want Fabio to have access to project X, not project Y, I'll add him to project X, and he can interact with those smart contracts. So project's name, Roisin, and I'm going to select mainnet. You can upload an image if you want. I'm just going to go on the default one. Okay, so this is the landing page then for VORJ. So you can see of my project. You can see my organization. These tabs on the side. This one here is for the documentation. This is to see members of my organization, and in here you can see different metrics. So you can see, how many API calls, etc. you've used. But back to where I was. So before I start, you saw the amount of resources you got per organization. You have to allocate these resources now to a specific project. So I'm going to do that to start off. You guys do it too. So I'm going to just give it everything, so it can have 300,000 API calls, 100 calls a minute, 20 deployments, and it's good to go. Okay, so we're now ready to create a smart contract. You have your organization, your project created. And we offer 3 different types. So we offer, from the UI, we offer fungible tokens and non-fungible tokens and tokenized vault. Before I get into that, I'm actually going to go back to the slides and just talk you through the different standards, just in case any of you aren't familiar with them and why you might use them. And I'll jump back to this in a second. So, okay, cool. So, as I said, VORJ, and Fabio has touched on this as well, VORJ allows you to deploy numerous EVM compatible smart contracts on the Vechain Tor mainnet and testnet networks. As I said, I'll go through in the next slides different standards we support. Before I start, I want to make a point that all our smart contracts are OpenZeppelin based. So I know Fabio just spoke to you about OpenZeppelin, but OpenZeppelin, as he said, offers open source OpenZeppelin contracts, and they're all written in Solidity, and they're used for building secure smart contracts. OpenZeppelin contracts uses the ERC standards, and they're all EVM compatible. And in an effort to minimize cyber risk associated with building secure smart contracts on the likes of Vechain and Ethereum, OpenZeppelin contracts are continually audited and tested. It's the go-to library for smart contract development in Web3, so hence we thought they were a good fit for VORJ, and that's why all our smart contracts are based on the OpenZeppelin standards. Another small point to note before I go into it is all smart contracts created and deployed on VORJ are created and deployed through a VORJ deployment wallet, and thus these smart contracts are owned and controlled by VORJ. So unless you are transferring them away from VORJ to your own wallet, we will own and manage them for you. And if you do decide to transfer them into another wallet, then they are yours, your responsibility. You won't be able to interact with them via VORJ anymore. Okay, so the first standard that we're offering is ERC 721. I know most of you in the room, I'm sure all of you in the room are familiar with it. But ERC 721 is the contract standard that represents non-fungible tokens, NFTs. As some you know, an NFT is used to identify something or someone in a unique way. Think of them like rare, one-of-a-kind collectibles, and as a result, they are not interchangeable. Each NFT is a unique identifier, a token ID, and that distinguishes from all other tokens and represents its unique values and properties. This type of token is perfect for organizations who want to offer collectible items, tickets, access keys, etc. Okay? And our ERC 721 contracts define rules and must be followed to allow unique tokens to be managed and transferred, etc. Okay, and if you actually see that, they're all 3 different NFTs. The one on the right of the cow is a painting I did years ago. And it's now an NFT that I've listed on World of E, all through VORJ. So if you guys are any budding artists out there, I'll show you how to do that later on. So next token we offer is ERC20. So these are the fungible tokens, okay? So for example, if any of you don't know what a fungible token is, it means that all tokens in it are exactly the same. So if you have a $1 bill, they will have the same value as other $1 bills. Same with ERC20 tokens. One ERC20 token is the same value as another ERC20 token, and thus they are interchangeable. The ERC20 standard allows organizations to build tokens and applications that are interoperable with other products and services. It again defines rules, how these tokens should be transferred and how they should be owned, etc. Fungible tokens can represent virtually anything really on Web3, so they can represent reputation points in an online game, skills of a character in a game, fiat currency like USD, reputation points in an online platform. There's loads of different use cases. Tokens, ERC20 tokens minted on VORJ as well, can also be listed on Vechain. decentralized exchanges. That's documentation for that on VORJ.docs. And the final token standard that we're offering via the front end or the UI is the ERC 4626 standard. So this is the tokenized vault standard, again based off the Open Zeppelin standard. This enables the creation of secure and flexible single asset vaults of ERC20 tokens and gives shares to the user that deposits assets. Tokenized vaults are the foundation for lending markets, aggregators, yield-bearing tokens in decentralized finance, and users can deploy ERC 4626 tokens, smart contracts, and they can mint, deposit, and withdraw all through VORJ. The only prerequisite is that they have an ERC20 token contract already deployed and tokens are minted. Okay, so they're the three we support via the UI. We also support them all via our APIs. These contracts here are also all supported via the APIs. So I'll briefly go through them. The first one is ERC 1155. This is a semi-fungible or multi-fungible token. So these kinds of tokens are suitable in use cases where you want both a fungible token offered and a non-fungible token offered. So they're very popular in gaming. So games that want, I don't know, maybe character or weapons or something, they're going to be non-fungible tokens, but points that they're building up in the game are fungible tokens. So that's a very popular use case for them. The second contract we offer on the back end only is the ERC 721 Universal Upgradable Proxy Contract. For those of you who don't know what a proxy contract is, a proxy contract basically overcomes the barrier, which is not necessarily a bad thing, of immutability when you deploy a contract on a blockchain. So with the upgradable proxy contract, what you do is you deploy a proxy contract. It is given a contract direct for a logic contract. In our case, it's the ERC 721 contract that I have previously spoke about. So as a user, if I want to mint or carry out some operation on a contract, I will call the proxy, which will delegate the call to that ERC 721 contract. And in a case where I might want to add extra functionality to the ERC 721 contract, or if I find a bug and I want to fix it, I can just give the proxy contract the new logic contract. So I can deploy a new ERC 721 contract with the fixes and pass that to the proxy. So I'm still calling the same proxy, but with a different logic contract in the back end. To be honest, if you're going to be deploying ERC 721 contracts, I would just use the standard one. You'd have to contact us if you wanted to come up with an upgrade. The other two tokens then are VIP 180 and VIP 210. The VIP 180 token is the Vechain native ERC20 contract, and VIP 210 one is the ERC 1155 Vechain native contract. Again, I'm not sure how long we're going to keep supporting these, so I would just stick to either the ERC20 or the ERC 1155 if you want fungible or semi-fungible tokens. Okay, I will show you now how to deploy a contract via the UI. So, 2 seconds. Okay, so spoke through the different ones you can do. For this, I'll do a ERC 721 contract. So if you guys want to join back along with me, I'm going to give the contract a name. I have an image of my dog on this laptop, so I'll use that. They're the Vechain mascots. If any of you are following Vechain on social media, I'll give Monty a nice symbol of dog. So this will be, Monty will be contract name. The ERC 721 token symbol will be dog. So on VORJ, you can pick what features you would like the contract to have. So for instance, if I click burnable here, do I want my ERC 721 tokens to have the ability to be burned? If I click this box here, yeah, they can be burned in future if I want to. If I don't, these tokens that I create will never be able to be burned. Do I want the contract to be pausable? So do I want to be able to pause all operations on the contract? For this, some people might want to use this if they want to, I don't know, if they're maybe planning on selling NFTs or something, they maybe pause the ERC 721 contract and stop all transfers happening. It might make maybe the NFTs more valuable or something, but it just stops all operations anyway, and can be a safety feature as well on a contract. And finally, selective. Do I want to have selective minting or sequential minting? Basically, selective minting means if I have 10 tokens, token IDs with a given contract, if I want to mint token ID 3 first, I can do that. Alternatively, I don't tick this box, it's sequential minting, so the first token I mint will have a token ID of 1, 2, 3, etc. And then finally, I can give it a royalty receiver's address. So I'm planning for this NFT I'm about to mint to do really well in the marketplace, so I'll definitely put in my my wallet address. Hope somebody might go buy it. And basically, the royalty receiver address is it's going to be my address, and I'm going to set a royalty percentage fee amount. So basically, in the case of the NFT selling, or maybe in a secondary sale on a marketplace, etc., I'll still get a percentage of the sale each time it is resold. So I'll just get my wallet address here. Okay, and then finally, 2 more steps. You can upload, there's good old Molly. So you can upload a media here. This will be the image the NFT will be associated. This is getting uploaded into an S3 book at the moment. And then finally you can add metadata, and metadata for an ERC 721 is basically what defines the properties of the NFT. So you can set whatever you want here, or metadata is down below here. Let me see the description. So yeah, I'll set give different attributes to the NFT. So I'll just say, I'll give it a name, and I'll give the name as Molly. So all metadata as well on VORJ is uploaded to IPFS. We have our own IPFS node, and any metadata uploaded will be pinned to that node. So we can then pass the metadata to the smart contract via token URI. Okay, so that's all good. Ooh, what is the charge? Sorry, 2 seconds. Okay. Oh, I never gave it a Okay, so that's smart contract getting deployed. What we have to do now is we have to wait 12 blocks before we will be able to see the smart contract address and before we'll be able to carry out any actions on it. The reason it's 12 blocks is because our indexer is always 12 blocks behind the head. This ensures block finality before we start storing the information in the indexer. So 12 blocks is what it takes on Vechain for block finality to occur. So yeah, I hope you guys have followed along to this stage so far. Then I can just show you while we're waiting for that to deploy. If you go here, you can see the carbon footprint. So again, this will take 12 blocks to come through for us to be able to calculate the carbon footprint and the CO2 emissions, etc. So we'll take that from the indexer. But if you are looking and you're interested, you can see here your carbon emissions, your gas used, the number of transactions you made on chain. This will all be tracked for you. And again, you can also see then all the different transactions you've carried out from here. So this should really be, it's still in pending state. So we have an address now anyway. So this is the smart contract address here. And let me see, can I carry out an action? So, okay, I'll come back to that in a second and show you how to mint. I'll keep going. Okay, so the APIs. So if you were technical enough to know how to use an API, but maybe Web3 development is a bit out of your comfort zone, or as an enterprise you don't have the resources for it, then these VORJ's rich set of APIs are definitely something you'd probably be interested in. So with VORJ, you can seamlessly integrate the Web3 functionalities without the steep learning curve of Web3 development or the need for specialized personnel. You can integrate in your tech stack with just literally a few lines of code. The APIs were designed to make the transition to decentralized technology smoother and more accessible for both individuals and users. There's almost over 100 APIs, there's more than 100 APIs available. So as an average Web2 developer, if you utilize all the APIs that are on offer, you can pretty much do a lot of things that the typical Web3 developer can do. So there's quite extensive. All that is required to start using the APIs is an API key. I'll show you how to get that from the UI now in a second. But yeah, as I said, from the APIs, you can pretty much perform all actions that you need to do via the front end, like you could do via the front end. You can create, deploy, interact with smart contracts. You can get information on assets you created. You can perform contract operations. You can even pass in raw transactions and get them immediately executed on chain. And I'll go on now to the next slide, which will show you how you can utilize the indexer via the API keys, which I think is something that's really, really beneficial if you're looking to integrate with Vechain Tor. So for us and VORJ and many DApps, it's a common requirement to quickly and efficiently need to query on-chain data. Some data, such as a wallet account balance, are available directly from Vechain Tor node. However, other data, such as NFT transfers, are hard to query directly. So for this reason, it is a common design pattern to build a decentralized indexing service to expose this data, and aka an indexer, which is what we have built for VORJ. The VORJ indexer, as I said, is 12 blocks behind the Vechain Tor head. This is, as I said, to ensure block finality. And on VORJ, we have both mainnet and testnet index, so you can get all information, all transactions, all block history for both mainnet and testnet on it. The repo, so yeah, we have a significant number of APIs indexed on VORJ, and we use these APIs to decode all on-chain events. As far as I know, our API provides like I'd say nearly 90% of the on-chain events are decoded, so they're really they're consumable. You know exactly what's going on chain. Like even I think the likes of Vechain Stats don't even have as many of the APIs we have. We've hounded some different projects to get their contract APIs off them, but yeah, you'll definitely see it when you go to interact with APIs and read the transaction information. You'll see how decoded it is. So, yeah, you can get the latest historical aggregated data on NFT. I'll get through to that, so you can get all the marketplace stats and stuff for different marketplaces we offer on Vechain. And obviously, sustainability is at our core. So I showed you there via the UI where you can get your carbon footprint. We can also offer that via the backend, and you can not only get it on your own project, you can also get it on smart contracts, how much carbon footprint they've made. You can also get it on wallet addresses, etc. So that's all available through the APIs. So yeah, I will demo some of the APIs now. I'll just mint this token first so I have it when I come back. So again, I still have my smart contract. Before I get into demoing some of the APIs, I'm actually just going to, so I can get to it later on, just going to mint a token by the front end. So for minting ERC-721 tokens or any of the tokens on VORJ by the front end, all you need is a wallet address, so wherever you want the token to be minted to. So that's my wallet address there. And I'm just going to mint token ID 1. I only gave the metadata for one token ID, so we're only able to mint the one. So that will get minted now, and we can come back to this later. But for anyone, if you want to, again, follow me along, and I'll show you how to use the APIs. What you need is an API key, and I'm going to show you how to get that now via the front end. So if you go to Let me see. You go click on your icon at the very top right-hand corner. If you go to account management, from account management, if you go across to API keys, here you can generate an API key, and that will give you access to the APIs. So I'm going to give it a name, API key. It's going to be for the project Roisin, and the API key permissions I'm going to give it are all, so I'm going to give it read and write. Again, if you're working with team members, you might want them to have access to everything, so this is where you can limit their access here by the API key you generate for them. So you can generate the key here. It's up to you then to store it, manage it, whatever way you like. You can, if you lose it, you can generate a new one. So yeah, so these are our APIs. So we have a large, one of them open there. A large amount of them, so I won't get through them all today, but I'll show you some of the ones that might be of interest to you. So, sorry, to authenticate if any of you are not used to Swagger, to authenticate the endpoints, you pass in your API key here. So one of the first ones I'm going to demo for you is to get the blocks. So this gets the latest 10 blocks on chain. Really easy, try it out. Number of blocks I wanted to return 10. I can change to 100, I can change it to whatever. But this will just show you what kind of information you can get back. It's going straight from the index. So here you can see everything. You can see the block ID, you can see the size of the block, the timestamp, the gas limit, gas use, transactions, etc. You can get it all there for the last 10 blocks, however many you want, but everything's there you need when it comes to information on a block. If you want to get information on a contract address, so let me see if I go here, I can get a big number of blocks. I can get information on the contract address I just created there. If I take this contract address, and I'm going to pass in the contract address there, so you can see the events that have happened. So the contract was created, there was roles granted via the contract, there was events that have been emitted. Yeah, you can see the transaction topics, you can see the parsed events, so that's the decoded event. So you can see, like, that's the only event that has happened on chain for that given smart contract. But again, if you have a smart contract that has had hundreds of transactions, you'll be able to get them all here, and it's all really easily consumed way. If you're creating your own unique smart contract and it's going to have its own unique ABI, there is an endpoint here where you can upload that API. So maybe you want to utilize our index, as I said, but we mightn't have necessarily that ABI in our indexer to decode the events. If you add this, you add your ABI here, we will go back and re-index any events we've missed, and also then all future events that happen from that smart contract, we'll have them included and decoded on our indexer. To get the carbon footprint, so if I want to get the carbon footprint of my wallet address, I can hit execute, and then you can see I've made 8 transactions, not that many. The gas I've used in total, and the CO2 I've used in grams. If I want to get the carbon of the smart contract, so again I can put in try it out. Smart contract I created, and yeah, I can get the CO2 used and the gas used. I don't know if you're working like on sustainability projects, this might be useful for you. And again, then you can do all the same things that you could do via the UI, so you can have all the functionality there, deploy, mint, modify smart contracts, get smart contract metadata, whatever you want. It's all there for you, so you can play around with them as you please. Okay. So one of the few things I'm going to show you now is integrating with World of V and the marketplace aggregation. So I showed you how easy it is to deploy an ERC 721 contract and mint a token. Something really cool that we've offered is within a click of a button, you can list those NFTs on World of V. World of V, for those of you that don't know it, is the largest marketplace at the moment in the Vechain ecosystem. And we've been working with them to integrate VORJ with them. Hopefully we'll do it for more marketplaces in the future, but at the moment we just have it offering for World of V. So I'll demo in a second with the NFT I minted, but again, with a click of a button, as I said, you can mint and list NFTs on World of V marketplace. The other thing we did was, with the large amount of data that we've collected via our indexer, we created APIs and powerful aggregations that allowed us to utilize all this information that we've gathered. So we have created these APIs to give information on the top NFT collections, so what's gaining money, what's losing money, provide insights on the most valuable NFTs, help customers make informed decisions. So World of V have integrated these APIs into their code base. So this screenshot you can see here, that's all being powered by VORJ and our indexer. World of V wants to do this to, as I said, provide insights to their customers on the most valuable NFTs. They wanted to show what NFTs are currently leading the market in terms of market capitalism. They wanted to allow their customers to explore the newest collections, see what's been minted recently, what activity they're going on in the marketplace. And they want to show collection gainers and losers. And one thing they're doing that's really cool is they're having a competition once a month to try and encourage people to buy NFTs. So the top 3 buyers get rewarded in VET. The top 3 NFT buyers get rewarded in VET at the end of every month. And there's a leaderboard that shows who's winning currently in the month. So I'll show you this now. So we have, let me see, mint. Sorry, I never minted that token. Okay, yes, so the prerequisite before listing an NFT on World of V is the token has to be minted. So this token is just getting minted now. All these endpoints are also available from all the endpoints I was talking about the aggregations are running on the marketplace activity. These are all here, and they're all consumable by the API. So I'll show you these. So this one here will show you the marketplace activity for a given smart contract. The marketplaces we support on VORJ are World of V, VC, which is another big marketplace. Exoworlds, which is a game, but they have their own marketplace too. They've actually recently taken over VC, so there's probably a lot of exciting things to come from there. And VPunk. So the 4 marketplaces we look out for events from, and as new marketplaces join the ecosystem, they'll also be included in these aggregations. But this is I think it's one of the Mad V8s, I think this addresses. So that's one of the big NFT collections on Vechain. So if I hit this endpoint, it might take a second, I'm going to get 100 events returned. It's going to give me all the latest marketplace activity for their NFTs. So you can see the event names there, the listing, what marketplace it happened on, the value the NFT sold for or was listed for. So that's really handy. Again, you can give a given token ID, see the history that happened for that particular token ID, so we'll filter out by token ID. This one here is, so if I see this, you can filter, all these are paginated, and you can filter by whatever you want. So for instance, this one is powered by aggregation, so this is to get the on-chain activity for collections, so you can, and it gets the stats on them, so how much volume was sold in the last day, week, month, what percentage changes the volume selling at, how many items were sold, etc., how many buyers we had, etc. So this can all be got from this endpoint. You can sort it by whatever you want. So I'm going to sort by the amount of volume sold in Vet. I'm going to select all marketplaces. I don't care which one it is, and mainnet obviously. So I'll hit that, and you can see there it's loading. But VPunks has the most all-time volume Vet sold. It's one of the OG NFT collections, so you can see hasn't as much any activity on World of V, but has a huge amount of activity on VC. So you can see the different information there, and against all marketplaces, you can get all that information there, and yeah, you can use that whatever way you need. And yeah, the buyer activity as well, that's the one that World of V have been using. It's already pre-populated there, so to show the top buyers on World of V, and they've been using that to run their competition. Why is this token not minting? Okay, maybe it has been. Sorry, I made the wrong wallet address. Okay, we'll go again. Sorry, I had the wrong wallet address copied in there. So yeah, while that is loading, I can show you some more of the APIs. So so what might be handy for you guys is if you are doing on-chain transactions and stuff, and you want to confirm the transaction or get information on it, you can use these APIs, some of the APIs that sorry, it's going. If you pass in the transaction ID, and also if you are creating something and you want to pull all of a given wallet address's NFT, you can pass in the wallet address here, and it'll get the metadata on all the different NFTs that wallet address holds. So that's already authenticated. We'll try this out. This will get all the different NFTs that I have in this wallet, so you can see them all there, and it will give you the metadata URI, so the IPFS link, and the different token IDs. So that might be handy if you're building something and you want to find the NFTs for a given wallet address. So, okay, this is getting listed now. Before I'll go on to the next slide. So I'll come back to show you how to list on World of V now in a second. But basically, that's sort of everything summed up with VORJ. You can come up to me at the end if you want to ask me any questions on how to integrate with the APIs, need help with coding it or anything. But we have a few more things in the pipeline for VORJ. So we're going to offer paid subscription tiers for businesses or users that require greater scales of usage. We're going to start offering DAOs. The smart contracts are there. We're just waiting to release it, so that should be released in the next few weeks. So DAO smart contracts allow a group of individuals or organizations to collaborate and make decisions in a decentralized manner without the need for centralized authorities, so that would be a great addition. We're going to also offer role-based access control smart contracts. So that means even though the smart contract might be owned and managed by VORJ, if you pass in your wallet address and you give it access to, I don't know, mint a token, you can call it externally and mint tokens from external to VORJ or burn tokens, whatever you want to do with it. You can pass in those. You can pass in the permissions to do that. We're going to offer additional aggregations for analytics. So we're going to continue to utilize our indexer so we can provide more insights, do more analytics. And if you guys have anything, I don't know, you're interested to get the analytics on, give us a shout and we can add them in. But definitely have plans there. The other thing that's coming out, we're also going to start supporting Fidgetals. I literally just reviewed a pull request last week for it, so that should be in very shortly that we'll be supporting Fidgetals. And we're also going to do proof of attendance NFTs, so we'll support that as well. So I'll see if this is NFT has minted. Okay. Good stuff. So let me get my wallet address if that is not it. That NFT is getting listed on World of V now. So if I go to my account on World of V, so before actually, while this is getting loaded up here, before you list NFT on World of V, you should create an account with World of V. So the reason then you create an account is so you can manage it and then you can set the selling price, etc., all from World of V. And you want to have the tokens, not necessarily, but you'd ideally have them minted into your own wallet address so that you can sell them. If they're minted into someone else's wallet address, you might manage the collection in World of V, but you won't necessarily be able to sell it because it's not your NFT. Okay, so there she is. There's good old Molly. And yeah, so you can, I go to this collection here. You can edit it whatever way you want. You can add a description. It's all quite intuitive, as you please. And then with the NFT then, if you want to list it or whatever, you can list it like this. You can start an auction. We'll set it 1 VET. I have no duration an hour. And there we go, that's for sale. Sign it with your wallet and you're away. So yeah, that is it. It's all very straightforward.